Hey everyone, my name is Rishabh and today I will show you how you can install Oracle database on your Mac. So if you have tried to install Oracle database on a Mac with an M1 chip, you might have noticed that it is not as straightforward as you would hope. After spending a lot of time myself trying to figure it out, I found out that Oracle doesn't officially support macOS for running their database, especially on ARM-based systems like the M1. This is largely becoming an issue because of the ongoing shift from the x86 to ARM architectures, which comes with a significant challenge. Many legacy software companies aren't prioritizing updating their application to support ARM-based systems. This is the case with Oracle database on macOS as well, and this is a growing issue across various platforms. And it's not just macOS. Windows is likely to suffer the face similar challenges because of the upcoming shift to Ultra ARM chipsets. As you might have heard, the Ultra i9, it is changing the whole core thing. Means now if a new line of processor comes, it won't be Intel i5 core 11 generation. They are completely changing the branding to Intel Ultra i9 Ultra or something like that. So this whole ARM thing, why does it work? Because it's for portable devices like laptops. Laptops weren't hugely the market for ARM processors, but as of now, the market conditions, they are becoming the huge target because majorly laptop users wish their laptops to have 20 hours of battery life, 24 hours of battery life. Such as smartphones have their ARM processor. They have their own set of GPUs that they support, such as Mali and Adreno GPUs. So this whole transition that is going on in the industry, it actually forces companies to rewrite or optimize their software for the new hardware, which is costly and time consuming. And the legacy companies with softwares, that they have perfected it so much that they do not want to change or push out new code every week or every month. So when Apple announced M1 chip, it was concern for many people, like will Photoshop work on my machine, will uh, Ableton Live work on my machine. These are softwares which people are dependent on, such as if I make music, I am dependent on Ableton, and if Ableton doesn't run on ARM chipsets, my new computer is a waste to me. Like I cannot use it how I intend it to. So Apple really forced some developers to build applications for their machine, and it took a lot of time. I was in second year of my engineering degree at that time, and I had to run MySQL workbench, and there was not it was not supported. Like the only version available was Intel, so I had to run it through a translation layer, which is Rosetta. It comes inbuilt in your machine, but it was a pain to use. Like it was not fun at all, if I share my experience, because anytime I would run a little complex query, it would just crash. And the translation layer was not working fine. Like it was there from Apple uh, as a response, like for Intel applications. Like then the whole parallel processing thing, the all the new features of your new CPU were not working. It wasn't efficient. Like my point is, it was not efficient. And as Windows is making the shift to these new processors now, I doubt that developers will build for the upcoming 6 months or a year. It remains an issue, means it takes time for developers to optimize it. Sometimes they don't want to do it on their own. But anyways, let's just focus in the video right now. So now the solution I'm using is Docker to install this, which allows us to create a containerized environment where we can run Oracle database in a Linux based setup on our Mac. However, please note that this video might not be perfect because I had to record everything in college, and you might also hear some background noise. I had to borrow a friend's laptop because I didn't want to go through the hassle of cleaning it from my machine and then reinstalling it. It could have gone bad, as everything is new to me. I'm actually just making this so that the people who want this whole process in a video can have it. I searched for YouTube, and there were few videos explaining this, but they did not cover the whole changing your terminal to bash, so that you can clone Git repositories. I had to figure that on my own, and I haven't done this before. Like honestly, I'm telling, So it was quite time consuming and actually took me a lot of time. Oracle database in general, doing the setup is a very tedious thing to do. Even my friends who did it in Windows actually took a lot of time. So for me to change this to whole pluggable database, from pluggable database to using containerized multi-tenancy, everything was actually not pleasant for me. So I'm making this video so you can have a whole experience. Please pardon any background noises or any mistakes that I make grammatically, or my pronunciation is not that good. English is not my first language. So yeah, so I do apologize in advance for any mistakes. In this installation process, I'll also explain Oracle's multi-tenancy architecture. As I told you, the CDB container database. The difference between CDB and PDB is like CDB stands for container database and PDB stands for pluggable database. Those CDB contains the Oracle metadata and configuration, while PDBs are self-contained databases and that sit inside the CDB. This setup allows multiple PDBs to share the same CDB. The thing is, if I have a container, I can run it on my machine and I can give it to someone else to use also. So that's the whole idea behind this multi-tenancy architecture from Oracle. Okay, and those who can install it in their own machine, they are using the PDB version. You will come across this topic when we make a new connection in Oracle. The service name you have to put, it's ORCL CDB, Oracle Container Database Service. That's what you are using. So that's something you should keep in mind if you're completely new to the subject. So moving forward, PDBs are PDBs and CDBs are done. After that, I'll be setting up the Oracle database in this CDB structure during the installation. In this video, I'll walk you through the entire process using Docker step by step, so you can save the time and hassle I went through. Again, pardon me for any little mistakes I made. And if you have any suggestions or questions, drop them down in the comments. Now let's move to the video. Some prerequisites for this video are that you must have your terminal set as bash, because the macOS default terminal is Z shell. So to change that, you will have to download bash on your Mac terminal. Don't worry, you can change the settings back later, but for this video you will need it. So we are going to open Safari, and then we'll have to open, one second. We'll have to download Git bash for Mac. We'll have to open the first link. After that, click on the binary installer. Just install it. So once this is done, the system will prevent you from opening it because it is from an unidentified source. So you'll have to go to security and privacy and security, and then allow it. Here it is asking that some unidentified developers app was blocked, so you have to open it anyway, and then I'll use my password here. Because it was designed for Intel Macs, that's why it is asking you, do you want to install it, because now the translation layer of Apple, which is Rosetta, will kick in to translate the instruction sets for ARM based processors. You'll have to go with the installation, enter your password here. Okay, so to verify that if this is done or not, you'll have to open your terminal. Yeah, one more thing. Currently, it is showing your default terminal to be Z shell, as you can see here. So you'll have to simply simply open your preferences with command and comma, or you can open it manually from here. Here, this is your shell opens with your default login shell, which is bin/z shell. You'll have to change it to bash, which is born again shell. And what are we going to do in this video? You'll later find out why are we doing this. So to save the setting, just press Ctrl S. Now your default shell is changed to bash. Go ahead and open the terminal again. Now it is showing bash. Now we have downloaded Docker in our device. You just need to put your username. So you are almost done. Go to Google again and then sign in. Okay, so this is your Docker interface. This is your Docker engine. Now the next thing to do is to download our Oracle database that we are going to run on our Mac. So since I already told you that Oracle does not have any version for Mac ARM chipsets, we are going to borrow Linux ARM for this. So this file right here of size 2.2 GB, will download it. It will ask you to log in into your Oracle account. So you can make your Oracle account, and please remember it because it will be of use when you are. Oh, wait, it is. Let me open the link again. Click on the Linux ARM. Something happened. Let me open another browser here. Now the file is downloading. Once this is downloaded, you'll have to open terminal. So let's wait until it is downloaded. Okay, so till now we have downloaded the ARM version for Linux Oracle file. And now what we are going to do, we are going to clone this repository because it has all the dependencies and all the environment variables needed to run the Linux version of Oracle in a container. I'm not going to go in any depths here. We are just going to clone this. For that, you'll have to create a folder. You can name it anything you want. I'm going to name it GitHub repositories. So I'm going to change to that folder. And remember, I have made the folder in my home directory. Now that we are inside the GitHub repos, there's a command which will clone this GitHub repository for us. So here is the command. I'm going to paste it and press enter. So what's it doing is that this all the important things from this repository are going to be cloned into a folder inside our GitHub repos directory. So looks like it's done. I'm going to go ahead and take a quick look at it. Users, GitHub repos. Yeah. So here are the Docker images and everything inside of it. Now the next step is remember the file we downloaded, the ARM version for the Linux Oracle. Go ahead and copy it with the help of Control plus C, and in this case Command plus C. Now we are going to navigate to a very specific folder. Go back to that GitHub repos. Inside the Docker images, you will find Oracle database and then single instance. After that, Docker files. And we have downloaded a very specific version for this 19.3.0 because others don't have the support for it. So you have to paste your file here. I'm going to paste the file here now that it's here. And remember, do not unzip the file. Some people might face the problem that Safari unzips the file directly because that's what default setting is. But I have downloaded this file from Chrome, so it has not changed any settings because this zip archive Docker will be using, and we cannot interfere with that. Now, once this is done, go back to your terminal, and this right here is my terminal. We'll have to write a series of commands here. First, we will change our directory to, now that we currently are in GitHub repos, and we need to go to Docker files. So first is Oracle database. Wait, first one is actually Docker images. I got confused. Sorry for that. Docker hyphen images. And then after that, you can change directory to Oracle database. And remember, this hierarchy is important. After this, you'll have to navigate to single instance and then cd Docker file. Bus. Now you have to stop here. You do not need to go inside that 19.3.0 folder. Here we'll have to run a build command to build a Docker image. No, not build command. Actually, first this build command, what it is doing is it is creating an image or container image. Image is like a empty container with nothing within it. After that, you put all the important environment variables and things, everything you need to run it, as far as I understand. So basically, we will copy this and paste it here. This will take some time. Oh, looks like it ran into an error. Let me solve this real quick. Okay, so what happened was Docker was not running in the background. That's why it showed an error. I'm going to go ahead and run the command again. This dot and slash helps to run the command in the same directory, and then the build container image.sh is the shell script for creating the empty image, and v for version and 19.3.0 is our Linux ARM version for it. Now let this run, and this will take some time. After the image is completed, we will have to customize it in a way. Like I'm using customize because we are running a very specific version of Oracle here. So it is basically like tailor made for us. In the meantime, I would like to explain you about the types of databases here. As far as I understood, because before I ran into this problem of Mac Silicon not having support for the latest Oracle, I'm sorry, support for the Oracle database, I realized that there are two types of databases. First is pluggable database for those who run the database directly in their machine, and other is container database, CDB. It is known as CDB. Container databases are like the database is running in a multi-tenancy system, and you are just connected with it. while you are creating things like triggers and you are changing permissions, you are interfering with the files, the tables in your main database. The username sys has the power. It is like the administrator here. So it doesn't let people with container databases change anything. I ran into the problem of I was unable to create triggers. So then my teacher suggested me to look more into it. I saw some forums and I was suggested that I should use c hash hash in the beginning of my username. It just helps. I still I'm still, finding the reason why c hash has the reason why container databases have to put usernames with the name c hash hash, such as my username was demo, and then I created a c hash hash demo. So yeah, and then you'll have to grant permissions to that user, the new user that you created. Then after that, you can create triggers on your tables and things like that. So if I find a sufficient, if I find a very, satisfying response to it, I will update you guys in the comments. It is still creating that image. I will leave this to it. Okay, so now that this is done, now that our image is built, we'll have to uh, run a docker command. What are we doing is that we are basically running a container on that image. For that, we have a command. It's quite big, so I have already pasted it here. I will provide these links and the commands in the comments. Oh, sorry, in the description, actually. I will explain you the command also. First, I'm going to paste it here. So, docker run is the command, and then this -d is called running this in the detached mode, so that while you are running this command, you can still use your terminal. And then this hyphen name is to name your container, which in our case will be Oracle 19. And then this -e is your environment parameters needed to run the container. With this, you are specifying the password, Oracle password, which will be my password 1. After that, your port number. There are two port numbers. Uh, One is opening the connection from within the container, and the other port number is connected from the outside. And after that, Oracle database 19.3.0 is the name of our ARM file. I'm going to go ahead and press enter. Looks like it didn't register. Already in use. Wait. It is actually Docker PS here. Our container ID image command. Currently, it is not showing. It takes a bit of time, and then after this, the status will be healthy. Then that's when you know that your container is ready to be used. The status of your container being built will be shown here while you use the command docker ps, but for some reason it's not showing here. We can manually check it by going into the dashboard. Here you can look. Here the container is already built 4 minutes ago. You can click on the name of the container to see all the logs, as it is here copying database files, and it's 8% completed. It takes generally around 6 to 7 minutes. So after that, it will be done. To check the status, you can again run the command p docker ps in your terminal. While it's not completed, it will show the status as it's starting, and once it is complete, the status will change to healthy, which means the container is running. Thank you. Now that the container is done, we can again open our Docker app and we can start the container from here. After that, open any ID you want to establish the database connection. Actually, SQL developer is preferred, but I'm currently using Visual Studio Code. Here you'll have to download an extension named SQL developer. It's from Oracle. We'll go ahead and create a connection here. You can name anything, create with any name. Here I'm going to give it demo. After that, your role should be sysdba, username sys is actually administrator here. Password, here the password used will be my password one, because that's what you specified in your command, the run command, if you remember. Let me open the note again. Here, your password was my password one. I'm going to copy it here. Connection type should be basic. Host name, local host. It would have been local host if it was your pluggable database, but I don't think it is necessary here. And your service name should be ORCLCDB. As I told you earlier, we are using the container database version here. So ORCL stands for Oracle and CDB stands for your container database. Service name is not needed here, and quickly test the connection and then connect. I guess it ran into some trouble. Let me look into it again. We are going to test on our database here. Last time we ran into a problem that it was not connecting. I'm opening Docker again. Go ahead and start my container here. After that, I'll try to establish the connection again. Create connection, name it demo. Role was sysdba, my password one, local host, and then port is 1521. Service name was ORCLCDB, container database. Test it. Test passed. So last time I think the container was not properly working, whatever the issue was, but now it is working, and I'm going to go ahead and connect it. Here, here is your database. This took me a lot of time because I had to figure so many things on my own. I also took help from a YouTube video, but in that video, the cloning the GitHub repository was not mentioned properly. So I thought I should make a video to create whole process in one single video. So people like me, like I had to waste like my 5 6 hours on this. That's why I decided to borrow a friend's laptop and make the video again. So I hope this helps you. And if you have any issues, any queries, please let me know. This is Rishabh signing off. Have a nice day. Thanks.